Take three. Take three. I've been, this is the third video, so I don't know if I'm going to put it all together. Let's see if this coffee was in my book bag all night and I was too lazy to get it. And then I really wanted it because I need to have my carafe of coffee and then this. Oh, ice cold. No. No, even let me empty it out. Ugh. These people might be like getting mad that I'm parked in front of their house, but so what? Okay, anyhow. I don't know, I'm talking about a lot of different things. So when I walked in this morning, I just want to do a quick little short video, and this is the third take, okay? So when I walked in with my antlers, nobody said anything. And so I feel stupid. I mean, they said good morning. I got a couple of good mornings. Anyway, we made it to Thursday. I kept asking God, please let this day be a fast day, like a smoother day than Tuesday and Wednesday, especially Wednesday. Please let me have a full day, right? So this man is coming by with his dog, and I hope he sees me talking on my phone, so I don't want him to know that I'm talking, that I'm doing a video. Maybe I should just drive. Should I just drive? Anyway, my teeth hurt lately, like as if I put metal on them. So, anyway, I'm going to be all ADD, ADHD, AD. You know what, guys? I'm just right around the corner from my house. I'd rather be in my own parking lot. Devin didn't even know I was in my parking lot yesterday, and he was like, why didn't you come in? I go, because I was relaxing. I was relaxing for a few minutes. And I'm kind of looking forward to not going to work tomorrow. Because I got loads of stuff to do in terms of Christmas. Yeah, I cleaned off that table, and then I just sat in that whole feeling of I cleaned off that table. What else did you do? Nothing, but I cleaned off that table. That was a big feat for me, because otherwise you can't you have nowhere to wrap your presents. You can't wrap your presents at the kitchen table because there's all kinds of stuff on the kitchen table. Anyway, the whole house has to get a big, huge cleaning, because Thomas is going to be coming Christmas Day with his girlfriend, or his, I don't know, significant other, or his friend. I don't know how close they are. So they're coming, I don't know for how many days, but they are coming on Christmas Day instead of Christmas Eve. So that's okay. Just as long as I know and he's coming, that makes me happy. So I walk in, for those of you who care, I walk in and you know, say hello and everything. Then I always have to go to the office and find the principal, because nobody gives you a paper on what you have to do. So I have to text her or find her. And I think they were getting sick of me showing up in the office. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm doing too much. Like, maybe I'm getting through things too fast. Anyway, yeah, so you gotta learn, you gotta slow your roll so that it's like, because she said to me, you finished that project already? And I thought, like, I had a time limit, so I was pushing myself, like, to make the copies and cut things up, and I actually screwed that up, and she probably was mad. But anyhow, so she, as soon as I got there, she goes, you know what? You got to go to it. Can you come to the second grade? That's where I am. I'm covering, the teacher is late. So could you come there and cover the class? And this way I could leave. And I was like, oh, absolutely. And she showed me the sheets, and she showed me the lunch thing. And I was like, great, because that's what I prayed for. I prayed for somebody to be absent so I could take over the job. I have a feeling this is going to shut off again. And if it does, I'm just going to forget it. Whatever I said, and then out. Katrina out. Mr. Grady out. Okay. And I didn't forget about Saggy Wadgies. Okay. As soon as I could clear my mind and write down a couple of notes and meditate, then I will be bringing the Saggy video. Okay. Sagittarius in the house, in the hizzo. Sagittarius are fun. Sagittarius like to try things at least once. Sometimes they have anxiety, a lot of anxiety. I know several Sagittariuses and they have anxiety. Only one out of the group knows how to relax her anxiety. Okay. It's called Jesus Juice, people. All right. Get a clue. All right. Okay. I'm not trying to push Jesus Juice on anybody. Or am I? No. Not for the people who don't want Jesus Juice. Anyway. Sorry. Erase. Okay. So I go in. Let me just close my eyes to this. I don't have that heavy of makeup on. And see, this is why I need to wear mascara all the time. Because look how small my eyes look without mascara. I just have a simple eyeshadow, 2 different shadows, a contrasting thing over here. Then this is all gone. For one eye, always the makeup leaves. Anyway, the foundation and the blush always stay in. But because I didn't put mascara on to save myself 5 minutes today, and I was early for work. Like I got there, I pulled up on that place, and there was only one car. And everything was dark. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here and listen to the radio for a few minutes until I see life. I'm not going into the dark school without a classroom. So anyhow, but let me close my eyes so I can focus. All right. This is what you do when you have ADD and also sleep disorder. You catch a nap any way you can. No, this is how I can concentrate. So, the principal tells me to go to the 2nd grade. So I go to the 2nd grade. I was happy and grateful. And I was like, thank you, dear God, because this is what I prayed for. And I was like, she's not going to come, right? And she goes, oh, yeah, she's coming. She's just going to be late. And I was like, okay, you know, it's better than nothing. So, you know, I said in my head, it's better than nothing. But when she came, I did spend some time talking to her because I used to talk to her a lot, this particular teacher. And then I figured I pissed her off somehow, and then she didn't like me anymore. And that's not a paranoia thing. That is something that happens with me. And then I feel like, you know, like, or maybe she's a Gemini. Geminis will love me. They can't get enough of me. They got to be around me, right? And then after 6 months, it's bye-bye. Okay. Or sometimes less than 6 months, or maybe it lasts a year, but I'm just not in their favor. But anyhow, I don't know if she's a Gemini. I don't know what the deal is. But I think she didn't like me, because at first she used to always say hi to me in the hallway and outside, and always like with the hellos, and sometimes even a hug. And I even talked to her in the cafeteria several times and kind of gave her advice about, she was just having kids. And she seemed to really appreciate it. And then something happened last year, and I think she blamed it on me, or like thought I did it. It was some kind of procedure and I wasn't even in her class. I was across the way. And so I believe I heard her talking about me, that, you know, something about putting the iPads away, and that I didn't do it right, and that I let the kids do it, and I must have slammed it in there. But I thought the kids always do it. Anyhow, long story short, I was like, after that point, she never said hi to me. She didn't look in my direction. I was like a ghost. And now all of a sudden, when she came in and she saw me in her room, it was the old her. Okay, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but you know the feeling. Those people, well, we are empathetic. We are friggin' psychic. So the third eye is always open, whether we want it or not, especially with the portal being open during 12/12. And actually, since a little bit before Halloween, I feel the portal has been open, and that's why we found Quentin, and that's why we found, I forget who else we found, but anyway, So long story short, the teacher says, okay, she even asked me a question. She said, you stayed till 3 yesterday, right? I said, oh no, that nobody had said it, they had any work for me. So I was supposed to be there till 3:15, but nobody said they had any work. So the principal told me to go home, to clock out. And I said, yeah, and I was a little bit pissed because I was supposed to be there for the full day. And so, you know, I kind of banked on that, literally and figuratively, with like Christmas shopping and stuff. I said, you know, so if I go home, that's a half day, that's not a full day, and you can't really pay many bills with a half day. A half day is $50 or $47. And, you know, to me, why wake up at 6 o'clock for $40? Anyhow, doesn't matter. It's worth it. It is worth it. It's better to have a job than no job. Okay? It's better to have, you know, some days than 0 days. Half days do, you know, everything counts. But I was just banking on having those 4 solid days. So, you know, I'm letting it go. Let it go into the universe. It's not going to make or break me. But she was compassionate. And then she said, because she remembers what she said to me. She said the day before, she said, no, you're good. We're good. We don't need you to come in. I go, well, how many people do you have to test? And she said, about 3. And I go, oh, I can come in then. And I'll, you know, even if I just come in for a little while and I can watch them. And she goes, no, I'm going to put them on iPads. The ever-present iPad story came to my mind. So I was like, oh, she hates me. But she said to me, because you didn't have anybody to cover, that means that you had to leave? And I said, yeah. So then she felt bad and she said, oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, today, if you run out of work, you just come back to me and I'll give you something to do in my room, or for the 2nd grade or something. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. So that's how it started off very good. And then I was told to go to the kindergarten to see if the kindergarten need me to make copies and, or just hang around the room, and help out with the kids, which I did in one classroom. I did that and made copies. Then I went to another room. She didn't want me to hang around. And I know her from before too. So I was like kind of surprised, you know, but I am paranoid, but I believe in my gut, especially at this age. And I'm like, oh, when did I piss this one off? Because she used to be friendly with me too. But anyhow, so she gave me something to do. And I went back I did it. Actually, the principal gave it to me from her. And I did it, and I went back. Oh, so something was had to be laminated. It was a whole bunch of papers that was supposed to be laminated. I was so scared. I have like a 40-second clip of the machine, but I probably won't put it up. So anyhow, the machine looks like so scary. It's so big. And so there was two teachers over on the couch. We have a couch in there. Just recently, they put a couch in there. So, I said to them, do you ladies know how, excuse me, I said, I'm just a sub. Do you know how I have to laminate all these papers? Do you know how to use that machine? Because I've never used it before. Like, nobody's, like, giving a sub a lesson. All right? Nobody's giving a sub a lesson. So it's like, that's scary. That scares me. And plus I've had bad experiences with the copy machine in a different school where one day I wasn't supposed to be there that early, but they wanted to keep me so that, you know, I could get the full day. And that was nice, but they made me copy over 1,000 papers and I was supposed to collate and push a button that would staple it and front and back. And it was not even just 1,000. It was like 500 of this, 400 of that, 600 of that. And then I just kept on carrying it. And she was checking on me. It was a nightmare. It was like, then I had to go teach a class in the afternoon. And I had no lunch break and no prep break. I was just standing for hours doing all this copying. So it was like can an old lady like myself get a break? You know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm 59, right? I tell you guys every day. And like, why is things are supposed to get easier, isn't it? Like, why am I acting like I'm a new teacher? You know, like, go over here, go do this, go to this room. No, it's like, isn't that just an old-fashioned where I come in and I have that whole class is mine for the day. And I know when the lunch is and when the prep is. And take the kids to the prep, take the kids to the gym, whatever it is, teach the kids all day, do the mini lesson, read a story. It's like, why can't I just have that back? Why am I a para? Okay, anyhow. So beggars can't be choosers. So I look at the machine. I ask these two ladies that are on the couch, I guess obviously on their break. And they just said, oh, don't worry about that. That is scary. They admitted, they go, it goes so fast. It's like you got to pull your fingers out quick. Otherwise your fingers are going to go in there. And I'm like having like a flashback as if I tried to do it. And I'm just scared. Like when I worked in Staten Island, New York, there was somebody who did the laminating for you, right? You had to put an order form in. You had to write it and sign it and have the principal sign it that you were even allowed to get it done, right? Then when I went to Brooklyn, so hence I didn't get that much lamination done on Staten Island. When I worked at Brooklyn, it was a little bit easier, but they told you to do it. They were like, no, we don't have any person that runs it. So then I really didn't do it unless somebody like offered, hey, I'll do that lamination for you. And I was like, oh, thank you. But usually that didn't happen. So what I did was either I brought it to Staples, back to Staten Island, and laminated it myself at Staples, you know, like asked them to laminate it and paid for it like an idiot, or I just didn't laminate. Okay. So it's like, you got to be able to run these machines. But they said to me, oh, well, yeah, don't worry. You can't even use it because there's no plastic left at all in the whole school. So you can't use it. And I was like, oh my gosh, there is a God. I'm so happy. And like, they kind of gave me a little bit of a smile. Am I pathetic? Okay. A kid in the lunchroom, a little, you know, like first grader or kindergarten goes, what's that? Why do you do that? And I go, oh, my ears? And he goes, no. Like, can I get like a friggin' notice? I walked around with this all day. I bet you if I went to my favorite school, everybody would have been talking about it. Anyway, he goes, those things. I go, they're called bangs. He goes, yeah, why you do that? So I guess he doesn't like my bangs. I go, well, I cut them. He goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, even a friggin' kindergarten or first grader is calling out my bad cutting job. Okay. And then people wanted me to cut these laminated things that were already laminated. It said, cut these. I was like, oh my God. So I didn't cut them. So I made the copies that this one particular person, a kindergarten teacher, wanted me to do. Then I went, you know, with the whole project, and I walked it to her room, and she kind of looked at me, and I go, oh, did you want me to cut these plastic things? And she said a little tiny bit of a thank you, but like she was kind of ignoring me. And I was like, oh, okay, she doesn't want me here. So like I read the room, I feel the energy. Some of the kids were looking at me like kind of interested. But anyhow, so she goes, yeah. And I go, oh, I wonder, you know, I thought she was going to let me just like sit there and cut them. Or at least offer her scissors, because I'm in a room, a teacher's room, but I don't know where anything is. I don't know where the stapler is. I don't know where this extra staples are. And I didn't know if she had a scissor. So anyhow, long story short, I did it. I went back and I used the big machine to cut, and I friggin' screwed it up. And I think that maybe she might have been mad. I don't know. I'm not a secretary. I don't even do those things for myself. Anyway, there just was projects and projects, and I was grateful for it because otherwise I wouldn't have got the day. So that's what I want to tell you guys. Just say a prayer for yourself. If you're worried about something, any kind of situation, just say a prayer to God. And even though you might not see it when it's going on, your prayers are really answered, because God will put you, let happen to you whatever's for your highest good. But we just might not understand it at first. Guys, I have to go. I love you all. And I'm sorry for even talking for 20 minutes. This is stupid. Okay. Namaste, everybody. Love you. I'm going to take these off now. Okay. That's it. That's it for that. Okay. Namaste.